Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we're talking about 12 tips to get your best skin ever. Before we dive into all of our tips, it's important to remember that just like hair, skin is a highly individualized thing. So everybody's skin is gonna act a little bit different. Your age, where you live, what you do to your skin, what you don't do to your skin, what you eat, what you smoke, what you don't smoke. Like, there's a lot of things that go into how your overall skin looks. Then there's also like, I'm not a dermatologist, I'm a cosmetologist and we're trained in skincare. But there is a lot of like dermatological stuff with skin as well, between psoriasis, eczema, dermatitis. Skin is one of our biggest organs. It does so much important stuff for us. We want to keep it healthy. We want to make sure that our skin barrier, or that our moisture barrier is intact, that it's as healthy as it can be. So with that being said, let's dive into some skin tips. Face washing, super important. How you wash your face and what you wash your face with are really going to impact like your overall, like at least your facial skin health. So if you're someone who wears makeup, absolutely must have to wash your face before you get into bed. Once you put on your makeup, once you got your skincare and all the makeup on, whatever like things you're running into, whatever like bacterias, whatever little things that you may come into contact with, it's gonna get stuck in like all of that muck. And so it's just really sitting there, and then you put it on your pillowcase and it just becomes like a bacteria breeding ground. So making sure that you are washing your face for at least a minute. I prefer a double cleanse at night. I also like to use a washcloth to make sure that you're really getting in there. How many times you go to wash your makeup off at nighttime and then like you get done and you wash your face twice, you can still see there's like mascara and some eyeshadow in there? Washcloth. It really, really helps. It gets everything off of there. Do be mindful to like not scrub at your eye skin too hard. It's like needs to be gentle. Our eye skin is a little bit finer, so like soft touch around the eyes, but I love a washcloth when I'm washing my face. Here's a really important one, and I feel like I see this a lot. Changing your skincare wildly and too often. If you have acne prone skin and you are like constantly changing your cleanser, constantly changing your moisturizer, your serum, you're like, oh, this one didn't work, I used it for 10 days, I'm switching. It's just too much changing for the skin, and your skin doesn't have the chance to like really get hip to what you're putting on it if you're changing it all the time. So I like to give things at least like 2 months to decide like if it's working for me or not. If you use it like one time, you don't really know if it was that thing or if it was some food that you ate or like a combination of those things. Like it's just hard to pin it on one product. Now, if you like if you're allergic to turmeric or you're allergic to, you know, some sort of extract and that extract is in the skincare, then don't give it 2 months, obviously, if you know you're allergic. But do give your skin time to adjust to new skincare regimens before you like keep switching. Because too much changing, it can just like lead to like, it just can kind of break the skin out anyway. So sleep position is a big deal for skincare. I don't know if I've ever told this story, but I had a really good friend who got this surgery done. So they like had to sleep on their back because they couldn't sleep on their sides. And when I saw them for the first time after that, I was like, oh my God, did you like shoot your face up full of filler? Cause you look 12. Like you just look so fresh. And she was like, bitch, I stopped sleeping on my side. I just started sleeping on my back. And they would put like body pillows on either side of them so they couldn't turn over, but just sleeping on their back and like gravity, like just pulling the skin down and like, or like back and not like crunching their face like this, you know, and like touching their face and just like smashing it like this on this. Cause think about it. Instead of all this, you just smooth back. It made the biggest fucking difference. And they actually stopped getting injections. Like they never really do shit in their face and they used to all the time. And it really made like the most startling difference that never went away. So I want to aspire to being, I always fall asleep on my back, but then I wake up in some other weird position. So I'm working on it. It's like a long-term goal, but wow. Here's another big thing you gotta clean. Gotta make sure. I prefer to keep like 2 sets of pillowcases around at all times so that I can just like take the pillowcases off and put the new clean one on right away. I don't have to like go wash it and like wait for it to dry and then put it back on. But you should be changing your pillowcases a minimum of 1 time a week. So important. If you are introducing that bacteria into your pillowcase, if your dogs sleep with you, if you got cats in the house, whatever, even if you don't have animals at home that don't sleep in your bed, you gotta wash your pillowcases once a week. It's so important to just like because I mean, if you think about it, that's like 8 to 10 hours a day that you sleep in contact with something. So it's just like a lot of touching of the face. You wanna keep that area clean. Water. Water is a really important thing when we're talking about the health of the skin, making sure that you're staying hydrated enough, making sure that you got that water. I know my skin can feel so much more upset when I'm dehydrated, so making sure your water retention is there. For me, I have psoriasis. I've had psoriasis since I was 23. For me, like being aware of what triggers my flare-ups and outbreaks is really important. Like getting a scratch can cause a psoriasis outbreak for me. Extreme changes in weather can cause breakouts for me or can cause a flare-up. Also, even like sitting in like a really, really hot like shower or like a hot tub, that can even cause flare-ups. But I love hot tubs and I love a hot bath. So sometimes it's like, but that can be a thing. Hot yoga for me. Like I used to do Bikram yoga every day. Immediately, like I'll go in like no psoriasis and come out totally flared up. So like I kind of stay away from hot yoga now. So just like being aware of what your body is telling you. If when you eat something, you always break out into hives, or when you do a certain thing, something happens on your skin, be aware of that and try to avoid triggers that flare up your skin. I've also kind of literally just like, don't judge me, but like I always would kind of like just like wash my legs and like my body with like my hands for a long time, like just like body wash like in my hands and then like this. But I always used to get like ingrown hairs on my legs and like zits on my legs. And then it occurred to me that like why I don't ever get those on my face and up here, even though I have all this hair, is because I was using a washcloth and I was like exfoliating because like I was paying attention to up here. I wasn't really paying attention to my legs as much. Oh my God, like they're all the way down there. Girl, get the washcloth. Put the body wash on the washcloth. Wash your body skin with the washcloth. Also, I really like to exfoliate, like exfoliating in general. Really important to sloughing off dead skin. I love that meme that says like your elbow or your heel, like watching you do your 17th layer of skincare. And it's like this like cracked ass like thing. So making sure you're not forgetting like your elbows, your knees, you know, your toes. Also, wash your hands, because when you don't wash your hands, that's a great way to introduce bacteria onto your face. If you have any sort of like microscopic openings or that bacteria gets into a pore, what do you think a zit is? It's like those little pores get bacteria in it and then it turns into like a whitehead or it turns into a zit. So keeping your hands clean is gonna keep your face cleaner. The cleaner your face is, the less outbreaks you're gonna have, or the less outbreaks that you're gonna have introduced into your skin. Also important to remember, for people who are having like hormonal imbalances, if you're going through puberty, stress, diet, all of those stuff contributes to your overall skin health. And so sometimes people will be like, well, you know, my skin, I'm gonna have acne or like breakouts no matter what I do. That may be true, but not washing your hands, not sanitizing your phone, not washing your pillowcases, anytime you're going to introduce more bacteria into your face, it's increasing your chances of breakouts at a more widespread area. So if your immune system is compromised because you're stressed, or your diet's been all over, or you haven't been getting enough sleep, or you are like, you know, going through a hormonal change, whatever, you don't wanna give more opportunities to your skin to break out. So that's why washing your face, really important. Washing your hands, really important. Having some sort of way to sanitize your phone if you're like really sitting with your phone like on your face a lot and then I'm sitting on the toilet, I'm doing all that. It's a lot of bacteria. I think gendered skincare is bullshit, because really when you think about, and if you watch any like trans activists talk or scientists that speak around like the inclusion of trans athletes in sports, there really is not like, first of all, there's not two like sexes in the first place. Like this idea that like biology hinges on like two sexes is not true. There are multiple intersex variations of people who have like different chromosome situations and like things that are like outside of like male chromosome and female chromosome. So that's one thing. Also, there's a lot of men who wear makeup. There's a lot of like women who don't wear makeup. It is true that like women on the whole are going to have higher levels of estrogen and men are going to have higher levels of testosterone on the whole, but there are also a lot of variations in there. There's a lot of men who have low testosterone. There's a lot of women who have high testosterone. There's a lot of women who have low estrogen. So all of these like biological factors and hormonal factors that impact, you know, the health or like the quality of one's skin that would come through into like skincare or makeup decisions, it's really just not a thing. It's like a marketing ploy. So really like skincare is not gendered, hair care is not gendered. As many people as there are in the world, there is that many hormonal variations of what you can be within like the spectrum of sex. So like, just don't get caught up on gendered stuff when it comes to skincare. It's about like keeping your hands clean, keeping your face clean, keeping that phone clean, washing those pillowcases, paying attention to your skin, getting enough rest, drinking enough water, not using things on your skin when you can tell they're causing an issue. Really making sure you don't go to sleep with makeup on your face. Even if you're just using like sunscreen and skincare, you gotta wash that off your face before you go to bed. Also, like product layering needs to be done in the prescribed order for it to be the most effective. Like one of the reasons for that is like if you put oil on first, like typically oil is going to like seal in what's already there and it is an occlusive. So it like makes it so that other things can't penetrate and can't get in. Your serum and your moisturizer, your eye cream should all come before oil. Exercise, sweating, great thing for skin. It increases blood flow. Sweating can help to like clarify anything that's going on in our skin, kind of like get the stuff out, get the impurities out. Thank you so much for coming to our YouTube and talking about skin health. We love skin health. We love you. Leave in the comments what your tips are that have helped you get your best, healthiest skin. We love skincare. We love talking about skin. We love you. Thank you for supporting our work on YouTube. We'll see you next time.